All right, welcome everyone to our city council meeting for Monday, April 22nd. If I can get a roll call, Madam Clerk, to establish quorum.
David Avanzino.
Present.
Steve Holofield.
Here.
Harry Meyer.
Here.
Autumn Slane. Here. Susan Gruning is absent with notice. Terry McClung.
I'm here.
And stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, get a motion for approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Slane made the motion and Mr. Holyfield seconded. Need to add the first quarter financials for city clerk.
Yep, that's
Okay, for the city clerk. Also minutes for April 8th, 2004. Parks first quarter and cemetery first quarter. And also I'd like to withdraw the resolution on the, under new business item number 3 regarding the wind turbines. So, is there anything else, anybody? If not, get a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. McClung made the motion and Mr. Myers seconded. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Get a motion to approve the minutes for March 25th.
I move we approve the minutes for March 25th meeting, 2024.
Second.
Mr. Holyfield made the motion, Mr. Avanzino seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Motion for the April 8th minutes.
I move we approve the minutes for April 8th, 2024.
Second.
All right, any discussion, corrections? Hearing none, all in favor of the April 8th minutes, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so moved. Under planning, at our last meeting, we nominated Michael Welch for the Planning Commission.
I move we appoint Michael Welch to Planning Commission, position number 3.
Second.
Mr. Holyfield made the motion, Mr. Avanzino seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of Michael Welch for the Planning Commission, position 3, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? So moved. And a motion for discussion for Aaron
Borey.
Borgie,
Borey.
Boren, for the Parks Commission.
I move we appoint Aaron Borey to the Parks Commission, position number 4.
Second.
All right. Mr. Holyfield made the motion, Mr. McClung seconded. Any discussion?
To read the bill before voting is an important issue of all for the legislature and should not wait until the 2025 legislative session. I don't want to wait a year to hear about the subject and be able to act on it if we hear about something that really needs to be acted on now, Clark said. The Arkansas Senate cleared the way on Thursday, Thursday, April the 21st, 2024, for lawmakers to take up several potential amendments to the 2023 law that limited the state's ability to regulate cryptocurrency mining operations. Crypto mines are large groups of computers that harvest digital currency. They are usually located in rural areas due to the space they take up. They require large amounts of electricity to keep the computers running, as well as large amounts of water to keep them cool. Many communities, including Harrison, have expressed concern over these operations in their towns. At a recent City Hall meeting in Harrison, the room was at capacity. It would help our town prevent such an occurrence from happening in the future. I respectfully request your consideration for this proposal. Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, that concludes the public comments. We'll get on to our unfinished business. Number 1 is the sewer update. Can we get a motion to discuss?
Motion to discuss.
Second.
All right, Mr. Meyer made the motion. Mr. McClung seconded.
Hello, council and mayor. So as far as sewer updates go, today we actually got the sludge pump finally working, so we're able to process sludge again. It's been a long process, but we're finally there. So back to normal operations as far as that goes. Luckily, we never ran out of capacity. We kind of used the SBR for some of the sludge capacity.
Was there ever any aeration, or did they just not install it?
Yeah, there was at one time. So when in those plans, it showed the piping that went from that little building to Lakeside to provide aeration to that system. So,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Are we online? Is everything been submitted as so far as what we can do as far as the grants?
Yeah, we received a response back from the ARNC on a grant that we applied for, that we were on a priority list, but it sounds like we'll be on the priority list this week. So Zane's going to be reaching out to them this week to talk to them and say, hey, look, we are on that priority list. It just didn't show up in the records just yet. So, but yeah, we have applied for everything that we can right now.
Anyone else? All right, Simon, I think that we coming up on Flint Steel with our wall up there. And
Yeah, so there were some trees that were in conflict. We got to get the trees out of the way to build that foundation for that wall. Barrows has a tree removal guy. He was supposed to be here today. I don't know that he made it today, so they should be removed this week. They're supposed to start, they were tentatively going to start last week Wednesday, but they couldn't do anything because of trees. We did receive the bid for the rock wall proposal that was requested that I asked them for, and it was a few $100,000 more than what the building a concrete wall with the rock facade was going to be. So
Now, repeat that, please.
doing it in big rocks like the
Swain made the motion, Mr. Myers seconded. Ms. Swain, you want to start off?
Are we back just needing to pass this for an ordinance number?
I
or-
think we've got the ordinance in your packet. If you want to make a motion to assign this a number and to read on its first reading, we can do it that way.
I make a motion to pass ordinance 2348
To assign a number and read.
to assign a number and read 2348 for its first reading.
Okay, I got a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Mr. McClung seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
I got my hand up.
I,
Oops, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do have a question, and that, because this is,
Oh, Phil.
We put the sun setback to one bag.
Right.
Right.
Well, if the one bag ordinance is the problem and this ordinance solves it, then we have to come back and say this is good without a sunset clause. But if it doesn't
4
work,
months, I wanted to go back to one bag.
you want to go back to one? Okay.
Yeah. That's what, it was for 4 months, let people get used to it, and then be informed, and then we'll go back to the one bag.
Okay.
That's what I understand.
Well, I'm just trying to save paperwork.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Mr. Meyer?
this all started because of a family of 4 cannot get by with one bag. We have places where there are families of 4. And why should they pay more for their trash because they have a family? I really like the 2-bag thing. People in Eureka already.
Mentioned before, change it to the yellow bags.
yeah, that could be a possibility as well, is changing back to yellow. Well, we could make them green, I don't care.
I think in a green because
All right, just a moment. All right.
it's Earth Day.
Mr. Holyfield?
As a reminder, Berryville does one bag, has been doing one bag for 12, 15 years. And their tags are $5 each, not $2 each. So I do believe it does help recycling. Because I know people right now, they put their cardboard in their bags, they put their bottles and their cans in the bag. They don't want to mess with the recycling. But if they're paying a little extra to do that, I think they will think about it.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Myers?
I know people that recycle that still have to put 2 bags out once in a while.
Steve Holofield.
No.
So we got 3 noes, 2 yeses. So that failed.
So now where are we?
You're back to passing.
We're back to passing?
Just back to passing it.
Yeah, back to this, I'm not voting.
Do I make a motion again? Or?
We're
No,
still-
we're back to
good.
the original motion to assign this a number and read for read for passage on there. Is there any further discussion? All right, all in favor of assigning this a number and reading, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none?
Opposed.
Oops, all right, 4-1. All right.
Assigning ordinance number clause. The ordinance herein created shall expire on August 26, 2024, unless further action is taken by the Eureka Springs City Council.
Mr. McClung?
I make a motion, we approve ordinance number 2350 on its first reading.
I'll second.
And Mr. McClung made the motion and Mr. Myers seconded to approve it on first reading. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, all passes. All right, Mr. McClung.
I'd like to make a motion that we suspend the rules and read ordinance number 2350 by title only for its second reading.
Second.
Mr. McClung made the motion to read ordinance 2350 by title.
Are we
Just approved on
ready for
second
the
reading.
third? Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we suspend the rules and read ordinance number 2350 for the third reading by title only.
Second.
Mr. McClung made the motion, Mr. Myers seconded to read ordinance 2350 on third reading.
Steve Holofield,
Yes.
Terry McClung,
Yes.
David Avanzino,
Yes.
Autumn Slane,
Yes.
Harry Meyer.
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
I make a motion that we approve.
I got to read
Yes,
title
you gotta
only.
read. Yeah,
Oh, you do,
sorry.
don't you?
Yeah.
Ordinance number 2350, an ordinance amending ordinance 2348 with a sunset clause.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve 2350 on its third reading.
Second.
All right, Mr. Meyer made the motion and Mr. McClung seconded to read.
The need to consistently apply all laws and ordinances of the City of Eureka Springs for the health and safety of citizens of the city. An emergency is hereby declared to exist, and this ordinance shall take effect upon passage by the Eureka Springs City Council, signing by Eureka Springs Mayor and City Clerk Treasurer, and posting of the ordinance.
Thank you, guys. All right. I think this brings us up to our next ordinance is ordinance banning confetti in parades. Mr. Meyer.
Motion to discuss.
Second.
All right, Mr. Meyer made the motion, and Ms. Slane seconded. All right, go for it, Mr. Myers.
Okay. I believe this is a well worth it ordinance. The mouth and throws the wrapper on the ground. That's littering. That fits our littering laws. We don't need to worry about that part. But yeah, if we ban candy, we're going to have an uproar.
No, I'm not intending to ban candy.
Okay.
I'm just trying to protect its ability to remain.
It's pretty clear
parade.
here about what's getting banned.
fun. No.
I like getting hit in the head with a jawbreaker every now and then.
Let you know you're alive.
That's right.
Take the candy.
Everybody's happy, I'm happy.
I move to assign this ordinance a number and read it for passage.
Second.
No way affect the remaining portions thereof which are valid, but such valid portions shall be and remain in full force and effect.
Mr. Meyer?
I move to approve ordinance 2359 on its first reading.
Second.
All right, Mr. Meyer made the motion, Mr. McClung second to approve it on first reading. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, so moved. All right, that brings us up to our second, nope,
We're done.
We're done.
No.
that's it.
Quarterlies.
Quarter reports by our city clerk treasurer.
Said-
No, just council comments, I'm sorry.
I'm like, I don't know what about this. I've heard other people in town have had sewer line problems and the bills reaching over tens of thousands of dollars. I do really want to recommend the citizens of Eureka Springs, please look into Service Line Warranties of America. You can Google it. I don't own stock in it. I don't benefit anything from it. But I did benefit from having it when my sewer line collapsed. It paid $15,000 up front, and that would have been out of my pocket if I didn't have that. And the insurance is $7.35 a month. So it's worth having. You can get it on your sewer line, gas line, and water line. Please look into it. You never know when this is going to happen. And it.
I doubt
I don't think he heard you, but that's what. Mr. Myers.
Well, I want to say a few words about Earth Day. 54 years ago this month, the environmental issue came of age in American political life. April 22nd, 1970 dawned, literally millions of Americans of all ages from all walks of life participating in Earth Day celebrations. How did Earth Day change the nation? My primary objective, of Earth Day was to show the political leadership of the nation that there was broad and deep support for the environmental movement. While I was convinced that a nationwide peaceful demonstration of concern would be impressive, I was not quite prepared for the overwhelming response that occurred that day. 2000 rolled the air. You could not see the tops of the buildings for the pollution. If you touched anything, coal soot was on your hand because everything was heated with coal. We need alternate energy, and that's why I wouldn't oppose wind generation as long as it's placed in a place where there's sufficient wind for it. I don't believe there's sufficient wind for one in Eureka Springs as far as I can see on the wind maps that I get online. The place that there's proposed, yes, they have the sustained average wind speed of 9 miles per hour, which is suitable. So that's my take. Thank you.
Mr. McClung?
I just would like to concur with Autumn in supporting the.
Start my project. I'm very impressed with the professionalism of all the people with whom I had contact. The C4 crew was very accommodating and worked with the plumber and city to get this completed as quickly as possible. There's a lot of challenges while doing this replacement, and everyone worked together to get it done correctly. Jacob Coburn and Ed, the city inspectors, were helpful in working through the challenges that were discovered as the job progressed. Keeping White Street open while digging across the width of the street was a challenge. The Eureka Springs Transit Department was patient and understanding. The trolley was kept on schedule, and I especially want to commend the skill of the trolley drivers for navigating the trolley through the construction areas that had mere inches to spare at times. My sincere thanks to Kim Stryker at City Hall for her patience and understanding. She issued the street closure permit after an exclamation why half the street had to be closed most of the time the work was being performed. A special mention for Neil Prum, who owns Arrowhead Plumbing. Neil agreed to do the plumbing for the project, but did much more than put the pipe in the ditch. Neil worked with me, C4, and the inspectors to make this possible. My final thanks goes to all the neighbors and the public that traveled White Street. Your understanding and sympathy is greatly appreciated. This was a very stressful time for me, and your understanding of my predicament helped keep my sanity. I now have a functioning sewer line that is watertight and worry-free. This is one small step to stop the sewage from seeping into our historic springs. Dick Titus. I said that because, as mentioned before, I think our public works employees and all the city employees, a lot of times they get a lot of the negative comments, but they don't get the kudos sometimes. And citizens do this, and I think it's to let them know that they are appreciated because it is a hard work keeping things up in this city. So with that, we have a lot of activities coming up to Eureka for the next 3 weeks. One of the favorite that a lot of people enjoy and brings a lot of people around is yards and yards and yards of yard sales. Weekend of 426 and 428 all over Eureka, all over town and probably the county. Carving the Ozarks is also 426 and 47. It's up at Cornerstone Bank this year, at 157 East Van Buren. Mike Campbell and the Dirty Knobs is in concert at the auditorium on Friday, 426. Should be a hot concert. So if you really want to hear some really good old-fashioned
Rock and roll,
come in here. And the Eureka Springs Historical Museum grand reopening on May the 2nd from 10 a.m. On 95 South Main. If you haven't been to the Historical Museum, you're missing a chance. It is a great facility, has a lot of great artwork and historical artifacts at Eureka Springs.
Which, that's
It's
the
not to be
fifth.
done.
That's the fifth. The fifth.
The 5th?
Oh, that's the art museum, not the historic.
Now I'm confused. No. Okay. This is the grand reopening of the art museum, the historical museum on 5/2. Okay. I'm going to, and then we got the Jerry Berry Music Festival, 5/3 and 5/4 at the farm. Art Center Street Market on the 4th, 10 to 5 at Art Center Street, Center Street. Outrageous Parade, May the 4th. No confetti, guys, at 2 p.m. You can throw candy, but no confetti. Jazz in the Park, 5/4 with Alicia Patello Electric Band. They'll be playing the Basin Park Band Shell after the Outrageous Parade. First Saturday Artwork, May the 4th from 4 to 7. Drumming in the Park from 5/4 on May the 4th, 6 to 8. Makers Market on May the 10th through the 11th. And we don't have, but we do the art museum at the community centers on the 5th.
5th from 3 to 5.
From 3 to 5. And if you haven't been up to the old high school and the new community center up there, they have a great art museum they've just created, and it's really nice. And this is the grand opening for that, the 5th of May from 10 to 5.
3 to 5.
3 to 5. And they've done a great job, and it's really a compilation of all the Eureka artists. So you get a chance to go up and look at them. Makers Market, 5:10 at Spring Street Main Stage. Bridge of Love Living Art Installations on Main Street Pedestrian Bridge on May the 10th through the 12th. And Jazz in the Park on May the 11th. The King Cabbage Brass Band from 5 to 7 in Basin Park. And those are great. That's another great group. So we got a lot of activities going on in the next 3 weeks. So if you get a chance, get out and enjoy. So I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
And a second. And all in favor?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Mr. Mayor, can you do anything about these pterodactyls that are flying around here?
Yeah.